videographers. Is this just a toy, or can an inexpensive wireless kit serve your audio needs? This Synco wireless kit includes 2 transmitters and 1 receiver. Synco sent me this kit for review and has asked me to keep it. They didn't pay me, tell me what to say, or review the script or this video before posting. And honestly, I've owned pro wireless kits whose mics cost more than this whole package. This kit is a bargain, so you and I have good reason to wonder about its quality. And right now, you're listening to a Sennheiser MKE600 shotgun mic, mounted on a boom just out of the shot, about 30 centimeters away from my mouth. The cable from the mic connects to a Rode Podcaster Pro, and I sync that audio recording with the video while I'm editing. That's my reference sound. That's what I use and have used for my videos for about the last 3 years. My first job in TV was audio, and I'm very happy with this solution and its sound. Now granted, the Podcaster adds a little color and compression, so what you're hearing isn't just the mic. And of course, that's not a system that works outside my studio. So now, I've switched over to the mic on my shirt, a recording made on the Zoom F2. The mic is wired to its small recorder, which uses micro SD cards. It's a very portable solution, again, that requires me to synchronize audio and video while editing. One of the advantages of the F2 is that it's a 32-bit float recorder. That means there's no volume control and audio is always, well, nearly always distortion-free. A few of you noticed some artifacts in a recent canoeing video, probably my fault as wind was a factor. And the F2 replaced a wireless Rode Filmmaker kit. Actually, not completely. This is the mic from the Rode kit connected to the F2. The F2, as I said, is wired. It doesn't rely on a wireless link. And no matter how expensive or pro, wireless is never completely fault-free and is always limited by distance. Also, the F2 doesn't require a receiver on the camera with another set of batteries or an audio input on the camera. And I'm sure you'll agree that the sound from the F2, which you're listening to without added compression or EQ, isn't quite up to the standard of the MKE600, which has a very natural and open sound. So let's switch back to that. Well, how does the Synco compare to those solutions? And before we listen to it, let me show you what's in this kit, which comes in a handy zippered case. There's the receiver and 2 transmitters. They're all tiny, 4 centimeters by 5 centimeters and less than 2 centimeters deep. They barely tip the scale at 39 grams. The system operates on the 2.4 gigahertz band. Now, both transmitters have little clips to attach to a belt or other article of clothing. And the receiver also has a clip, which is a less than ideal solution. A cold shoe mount would be preferred. I mean, it's light enough to dangle from the camera, but I'd prefer some physical attachment. A clip doesn't do it for me. And each of the transmitters has a built-in mic. So let me clip one onto my shirt and switch over to that. It likely should be fairly close, say 15 to 20 centimeters, which means it's likely going to be visible. It's really too big to hide. But after all, who are we trying to kid? There's got to be a mic somewhere. That said, in general, directors and cinematographers don't like to see mics in the shot. The receiver and transmitter have internal rechargeable lithium batteries rated for 8 hours, and I can vouch for that, at least when the units are new. There's a USB-C port on each device. The 3-headed charging cable is provided so all 3 units can be charged at the same time. That's thoughtful. And back to the kit. There are 2 3.5 millimeter tip ring sleeve cables. The manual indicates that one is for a phone, or at least a phone with a 3.5 millimeter input port. The curly ones for dangling from a camera. The right angle connector for the camera side is a nice touch. Now, one thing about the cables included here, Most wireless kits, as well as the Zoom F2, have screw-on locking connections, which provide security against accidental disconnects. None of the connections or cables here have that. Now the kit also includes two omnidirectional lapel or lav mics with a 47 centimeter long cable. And that should be enough to reach wherever you need to hide the transmitter. Connecting the cable overrides the transmitter's internal mic. Now, the mics are larger with a more stylish appearance than most wireless lapel mics, like this Shure MX150. The 3.5mm connector means other mics could also be used. I'd probably do that, as I prefer to hide the mic in my glasses, but these are too big for that. So I removed the F2 and clipped the Synco mic onto my shirt and the transmitter onto my belt. Two tie or lapel clips are included in the kit. They're also slightly larger than average. The tie clip seems to emulate the design of the Shure MX150's clip, but that clip allows the mic to be mounted vertically, which is perfect for t-shirts. The mic's position on this clip can't be changed. And comparing the quality of the transmitter's internal mic, I find the lapel mic to be more directional, improving the presence of the sound. It's clearer with more definition, a slight boost in the higher vocal range, and while I prefer that, the quality of the internal mic is certainly suitable. Two foam windsocks are included for the lapel mics, not needed here in my studio, but useful outside. And then Thing 1 and Thing 2, large fuzzy black and white windscreens. They fit nicely on the transmitter, but not on the mics. There's a very brief getting started guide, and last thing, a reset pin. Configuration and setup is simple. Press the power switch on the units until the logo appears. On the transmitter, the screen shows the battery power level, identifies unit A or B, and has an audio level graph. Power key doubles as a mute key. The icon top left shows mute status, and the icon beside shows connection status. There's a key that activates the low-cut filter, also with an on-screen icon, then a pairing key and reset port. I didn't need either of those. The receiver also displays battery status, along with the mono stereo setting. That's the power key's second function on this unit. With stereo, one transmitter is the right channel and the other the left. Mono combines them both. The receiver has output gain controls for each channel and can boost signals in what I'm assuming are 3 dB steps up to 15. Check the levels on your camera while you're adjusting. The target is to keep the signal from going too high, as increasing the volume of an undistorted quiet recording is easy, while removing distortion from a loud recording is impossible. The display on the transmitter goes to sleep after a few minutes. A tap on the power key brings it back to life. The range of this kit is 150 meters line of sight, 50 with no line of sight. In the studio, the camera is about 5 meters away. And as with all wireless systems, the farther you go, the more likely it is that you'll have dropouts and interference, and some situations will be more prone to problems than others. I've been doing this long enough to know that no wireless system is 100% fault-free. And I've used the Synco Kit for several shoots in studio and in a canoe, and I've not experienced any hits or dropouts, but my experience says that it's no guarantee. If you're going to use this or any wireless kit, I'd recommend that you have someone listening while you're recording. Thoughtfully, the receiver has a headphone port for the standard 3.5mm headphone connector, in addition to the output. No volume control for that. Of course, if your camera has a headphone port, use that. If you don't have an assistant, play back the recording before you wrap, in case you need to do a retake. So, now you've been listening to the Synco system, the mic on my shirt. What do you think? First, let me color your opinion by saying that all wireless transmission systems require more signal processing than wired. That processing has a negative impact on audio. However, Technology advances means that every year higher quality arrives in lower priced devices. To my ears, in comparison with the F2 and the Sennheiser, the sound here has a slightly harsh and metallic edge, likely the result of digital encoding, compression, and EQ at the high end of my vocal range. The quality of audio recording in camera is likely also a factor. Now, it's not unpleasant or distracting and mostly noticeable in side-by-side listening comparisons. Because I'm usually working on my own, I prefer the F2 for out-of-studio recording. And in addition to price, the Synco Kit has a few advantages over the F2. The first is batteries. F2 is quite power hungry and isn't really satisfied by rechargeables, and the Synco Kit accommodates two performers, a significant edge over buying multiple F2s. Then, it doesn't need to be synced later. However, that also comes with the trade-off of dealing with the inevitably lower quality of onboard recording systems in the camera. So at this price, I'm impressed by this kit and will continue to use the Synco system. I might try some different mics and likely mount them in my glasses to be a little more discreet. As always, I do respond to relevant questions and civil comments. Now, the Synco Kit was provided by Synco Audio. They've asked me to keep it, but they've not paid me, told me what to say, or reviewed anything before I posted this video. And my sponsors are those of you who have decided to support this channel by becoming members. Thanks to you, there are no ads, neither ones that I read or YouTube interruptions. I'm very thankful to my members. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching and listening. Stay safe.